Hello again, gamers. Welcome back to the Board Game Captain. I'm the Captain.
And I'm Alex.
And today we're going to be reviewing and showing you how to play battle bosses. So before we get started, I do want to say I've got a ton of links in the description down below that you can check out your leisure. There's a link to my Patreon if you're in a position to and would like to support the channel. There's also a link to my Teespring store. You can get t-shirts, mugs, Board Game Captain gear, get great gamer merch down there. There's also a link to BoardGameCaptain.com, which is a great hub for all things Board Game Captain, and Lynn and I have started doing some semi-regular blog posts over there. Now, I want to give a big thank you to Casco for giving us these 4 different battle bosses to try out for their game Battle Bosses. They gave us, let's see, we got Cthulhu, Ryu,
Mechabot, and Captain Boat.
and we've tried them all.
We have.
And they're all different, and they're all unique, and they're all interesting. And the way this goes is if you want to play battle bosses, you get 2 bosses, any 2 bosses, and you can play the game. You can play them with those 2. But the more you get, the more variety you can have fighting it out, because they all play differently.
Right. And there is a multiplayer version of this.
There is. They have the rules up on their website if you want to play more than 2 people. We've just been playing it at 2 people.
Yeah, I think it plays very well 2-player.
Yeah, you can play in like a team game, like 2-on-2. But it plays really well 1-on-1 with 2 players. Now, in the tutorial portion of this video, we're going to be showing you Cthulhu versus Mechabot. So let me pull them out of the way. To show some of the components, I think we'll open up Ryu and also Captain Boat.
Captain Boat.
To show you some of the components. So each one comes with their own pre-painted mini here. So this is Ryu, and Captain Boat is probably my favorite looking of all the minis. He's so cool.
He is pretty ridiculous. He's got the sail is an eye and an eye patch, and then obviously he's got a mouth in his hull and a cannon in an arm.
Yeah, now each of these battle bosses comes with a bunch of counters, all the punch-out counters you will need, both for any effects they have as well as the standard currency of energy and crystals and damage counters and all of their minions. So each one has a unique type of minion. Ryu has samurai, Captain Boat has pirates, Cthulhu has zombies, and Mechabot has drones.
It comes with these hexagonal tiles, which end up making up the board. That's the play on that.
And they're different for every character. So like I have a lot of Japanese themed tiles for Ryu.
Yeah, Captain Boat has islands and oceans and such.
And then they each come with their own little pamphlet for the rules, which is a little fold-out sheet. The rules are really easy and actually surprisingly easy in this game. It's very quick to learn.
Yes.
2 sides, 1 sheet. It took like 5 minutes for us to figure out how to play.
Yeah.
And then they all come with their own deck of cards. You've got some cards there to show?
Yes, and the cards have the special powers and description of how to play the basic components of the game on each of the character or boss cards. A card that shows how the minions work for each boss, and then
A deck of cards.
A deck of cards that are effects or upgrades. Captain Boat has his unique thing with treasure. That relates to the character. So
yeah, each one has their own unique mechanics, and they each come with their own set of 4 dice with all the special symbols. These are custom dice, and 2 dice of a specific color because they usually have upgrades that'll let you get extra dice, and they all have the capability of possibly getting 2 extra dice. And the extra dice are a different color for each character. So Ryu has red dice.
Captain Boat's special dice are yellow, gold, I think is what they're going for.
Yeah, and then Cthulhu had blue dice, and I think, what was Mechabot's color? Was it orange?
They were a solid orange color, yeah.
And then they all have a little cardboard stand each. You can put them in front of yourself to remind everybody who you are. But also, it helps when, because some of the figures are a little hard to fit both on one space when the big bosses are fighting. So the standees sometimes can help. You can put them on the one space rather than the big miniature.
Right. Because they're big. This is well bigger than the size of the.
Yeah, Captain Boat in particular has trouble sharing the spaces with other guys a little bit.
Doesn't like to share.
So big.
And as Mechabot as well. They're very big.
They're very big. All right, so now we're going to head over to the table. We're going to run you through a few rounds and show you how this game plays. And then we're going to come back. We're going to talk about how this game feels, and we're going to rate it and review it. Okay, so here we are set up to play a 2-player game of battle bosses. So in order to set up, you have to take your tiles, and each player uses their tiles to set up half of the board. And you set up your figure on your end of the board. So I'm going to be playing Cthulhu, the great old one here, while Alex,
I am playing Mechabot.
yes, he's a big old mecha.
Mech something or other,
Yeah, he's kind of like a mech or a Gundam. He's pretty cool. It's like a cross between the two. So then you put your character card and your minion cards out here. You get all your tokens out. You have extra dice, because everyone has card effects where they can use extra dice, and you have your standard dice, which are white, and you put them out. Minion tokens, crystal tokens, energy tokens. You got to have all these out on the board, as well as damage tokens. And then you have your deck. You shuffle up your deck. You deal out a hand of 5 cards, and you are ready to go. That's really all there is to it, to setting up and being ready to play a game of battle bosses. All of your stats, your abilities you can do, and what they cost are on the cards for your boss and your minion. And then, of course, all the rest of the effects you can do are going to be on the cards that you play from your hand. So we're going to show you how all that works, and we're going to describe it while we're playing. This is the kind of game that it really just benefits to jump right into it. So I'm going to give Alex the choice. Alex, would you like to go first or second?
I will go second.
Okay, so if I go first, I do not get to roll all 4 of my dice in the first round, only 3 of them. So I'm going to take my 3 dice, I'm going to give them a roll, and that was this one here. I get 2, 4, 5 crystals. Whoa, that is a really good first roll.
Very good roll.
And I get, but I only get 1 energy. So the 1 energy is not so hot. In fact, I'm not even sure I'll be able to do much with it except for move Cthulhu. Okay, but I do have a lot of crystals I get to use on my first turn. All right, so to start with, I'm going to spend the 1 energy, and I'm going to activate Cthulhu's basic ability of 1 energy to move 1 space, and I'm going to move 1 space towards the center of the board. Now, this open area I cannot go through, but moving up 1, I still haven't decided if I'm going left or right of that, but I am moving closer to my enemy, and my enemy, Mechabot, has a lot of long-range effects, so I do want to be closer to him. I don't want to just sit back and get shot. Next, I'm going to do a card that I know Alex is going to be mad at me for.
Oh, no.
I'm going to spend 4 of my 5 crystals, and I'm going to bring out Transcendence. Now, Transcendence is a great card because it gives me a 1 crystal discount on all effect cards I play, as long as it isn't in play. The last time I played with Cthulhu, I got this out early as well, and Alex did not like it.
This is no bueno.
But that will be it for my first turn, because I cannot afford to do anything else.
Used it all up.
I use it, yeah. Well, Transcendence costs 4 crystals. That's not super expensive, but it's fairly expensive for only 3 dice.
Right, and for a first turn, that's the card you want to play on your first turn.
So at the end of my turn, I draw back up to a full hand of 5 cards.
All right, and for my 4, all that energy.
Oh, you got a reroll in there too.
I do have a reroll.
So this is 2 energy here. This is another 2 energy and another 2 energy, and then an energy and a reroll, which means he's going to get a total of 7 energy. You can do your ultimate ability on your first turn.
Can do the ultimate ability in the first turn.
I don't think that's ever happened in any of our test games yet.
I think you're right.
Wow.
And I think...
And you get to roll again and get some more stuff. Yeah.
Let's see what happens here.
Another 2.
2 more energies.
Something tells me you're going to do the super ability, because you can so afford it.
All right, so I have now 9 energy. And...
Wow.
I don't know if we reviewed this earlier. Energy goes away at the end of each turn, so you have to use all of your energy.
You can save crystals, but not energy.
Bank crystals, but energy has to be used. So I have no incentive to do anything else other than use all this energy, and I have no crystals, so I can't play any of my cards.
Yeah, because the cards cost crystals. The energy is what you use to make your abilities happen on either your minions or your boss, but the most powerful ability each boss has usually costs around 7 energy.
So for 7 energy, I can play my ultimate ability, which is the Singularity. And it says at the bottom of the card there. And for 7 energy, I can make 6 drones in my Mechabot space, which is what I'm going to do.
Yeah,
because I have a ton of energy.
Yeah, I no longer want to close distance with you. I have to tell you that really.
So that's wow. 7 there. I get 6 drones, which I think it only comes with 8.
Yeah, I was going to say, you only have 2 more possible drones. That's crazy.
So those 6 drones are going to go there. And I'm going to spend my last 2 energy.
So you're either making 1 more drone or you're moving the big horde of drones. Which I was going to say, because you can make 1 drone for 2 energy, or you can move any number of drones from 1 space to another for 1 energy.
Right. So I think I'm going to spend 1 energy.
Mm-hmm.
To move all of my drones up 1.
Okay.
And I'm going to... Alright, now I'm spending my final energy to move 3 of them here.
Oh. Interesting. Okay.
Alright.
Draw back up to your 5 cards.
I didn't play any, so...
Oh, you didn't play any?
I didn't have any crystals.
Fair point. I'm going to get my full 4 dice now. I got a bunch of drones spreading out over there. That's a little worrisome. Oh, crystals!
Crystals!
I got so many crystals. So I got 2, 3, 4, 5 crystals. Really nice. I will take that now. I have a total of 6 crystals.
That's awesome.
Yes, it is. And I get 1 energy. That is not so awesome. Generally, you like to have a balance. You like to have some of each because you want to do some of this and some of that. So that is a little bit of an issue. One energy is good for nothing other than moving, really. So that is, that can be a little bit of a problem.
Oh, no.
Okay, so
you're going to eliminate all of my drones.
No, but I'm gonna eliminate some of your drones, and I've got a really good plan for what I'm gonna do. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna spend 2 of my crystals to play out Foresight. Now, Foresight is a really great upgrade ability. It says, during your turn, if you play 2 or more effects, roll an additional die at the beginning of your next turn. This combined with my discount on effects is great.
Yes, it is.
So,
hence the power of Cthulhu.
Yes, Cthulhu has some great chaining abilities. You have some good chaining abilities too.
I do.
Just haven't gotten them out yet. So, first, with a 1-point discount on my effect, so it only costs 1 because normally it would cost 2. I am going to play Convert. Now, Convert says destroy a minion and make a zombie in Cthulhu's space. So I am going to destroy, let me see, I'm going to destroy one of the minions in the center space here, and then Cthulhu gets a free zombie, which is his minions. Then, again, for a discount of 1, making a 2-cost card only cost 1, so I'm going to get 2 back for that 3 crystals I spent. I'm going to play Horror. Horror is another effect card, and Horror says destroy up to 2 enemy minions in the same space and gain 1 crystal. So I'm going to destroy those other 2 minions there, and I'm going to get an extra crystal back. So I'm back up to 3 crystals. Then I'm going to use those 3 crystals to play another upgrade on Cthulhu, and I'm going to play Necronomicon, which is, Necronomicon is, again, it's another upgrade card for Cthulhu, and it gives me a permanent ability that I can use any round. I can spend 2 energy, and I can play an effect card in my discard pile, paying the cost as normal, and then I would put that card on the bottom of my deck. Now, I do not have any energy to do that with, but it is nice to know I'll be able to play Convert and Horror out
Nice
later.
to have it sitting there. Right?
Yeah. So now that, let's see here. So I've got the 1 zombie on me. I've got 1 energy. I'm going to use the 1 energy to throw that 1 zombie in the direction of those drones that you have left that are coming towards me as a little bit of a speed bump. I have only 1 card left in my hand. I'm going to draw 4 more cards. Wow. And that will be it for me. I actually spent 4 cards, which, as I spent 2, I played 2 of the effect cards because of Foresight. Next round, I'm going to get an extra die, so I'm going to take one of the blue dice and put it over with my white dice to remind myself. Wow. That was a pretty effective turn.
That was a hell of a turn.
Oh, you got 3 rerolls!
Rerolls. That's good.
You got a great roll going. So you've already got 4 energy and a crystal.
1, 2, 3, come here. 4 energy. 1 crystal. Reroll all 3 of these.
Yeah, wow. This could be amazing. Oh my god, you got another reroll.
2 more energies.
Wow.
2 more crystals.
This is a heck of a turn for you, too.
1 more reroll.
Oh, you forgot 1 of the energy. You only took 2 energy. You had 1 on the reroll.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And then 2 more energy.
And then 2 more. Oh my god. What did you wind up with?
3 crystals, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 energy again.
You could do your ultimate again.
I could do the ultimate again.
Wow.
However, let's see what I actually can do some stuff here.
I was gonna say, yeah, you just had 2 turns of amazing rolls in a row. That's actually really good.
So I'm gonna use Charge Up.
Okay.
So for one crystal, I'm playing Charge Up, which is an effect that if each enemy boss is 2 or more spaces away from Mechabot, I gain 3 energy.
And I am more than 2 spaces away. So wow.
And I'm going to use 2 more crystals to pay for Power Surge, which this turn you may use energy instead of crystals to play cards.
Oh my god. So how much? So how much energy do you have now?
I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
This is going to be brutal. I'm guessing your entire hand is coming out.
So I'm going to play for 4 each.
So 8 total.
3, 4, 8 total. I'm going to play upgrade cards Replicator and Railgun.
Okay, so what do Replicator and Railgun do?
Replicator it's an upgrade card for 3 energy. I can sacrifice a drone to make 3 more drones in Mechabot's space.
That's insane.
And then for the Railgun is also 4, and that's an upgrade. Whenever I sacrifice a drone, I deal 1 damage to a space 2 or more spaces away from Mechabot.
Wow, those are some amazingly comboed effects.
Use my last 4 energy to make 2 more drones.
Oh, you're building up for lots of sacrifice in next round, aren't you? Lots of combo effects now.
And that's going to be it for now, yeah.
Okay,
And
so
I got to
draw back up to 5.
Back up to 5.
Because I think you've drawn 4 cards, aren't you?
Yep.
All right, so I got my extra blue die. This is some consolation because Alex just had an amazing turn, and I'm very afraid about what's coming across the table right now at me. But that was good. So I got, let's see, good. I got 2, 4, 5 energy so far, plus 3 crystals. That's not bad at all. I will take it,
very good.
and I have a reroll.
Yes.
So come on with something good. Another 2 crystals.
Wow,
nice.
That extra die, man, that really makes a difference.
Really does. It gives you so much of a more more of a chance of getting rerolls, which is so great. Okay, so the first effect card I would like to play is Horror. It costs 2, but because of my 1 discount, it only costs me 1 because of the discount I get from Transcendence. And Horror says, destroy up to 2 enemy minions in the same space and gain 1 crystal. So it costs me 1, but I get the crystal right back thanks to its effect, and I'm going to destroy 2 of the minions right there. Next, as my second effect, I'm going to play this 3 crystal cost ability called Madness, but it only costs me 2.
Not
And
this one.
Madness says an opponent rolls 2 fewer dice on their next turn. So I'm going to try to nip Mechabot in the bud here by reducing his number of dice that Alex gets to roll for him on the next turn. So that is really good as well. Next, the minions cost me 2 energy apiece. I'm going to spend 4, and I'm going to play 2 zombies on Cthulhu's space. I can only play them on Cthulhu's space. I'm going to spend the last energy to have them go off and join that zombie who's protecting that side of the board, which now is, pretty well defended. So that single drone is probably not coming at me anymore. Probably not much of a threat any longer. And I'm going to bank my last 3 crystals, and I'm going to draw back up to 5 cards, which is 2 cards. I'm going to keep the blue die over here because since I did play 2 effect cards again, I am going to get an extra die next round thanks to Foresight, which again gives me an extra die on the turn after I play at least 2 effect cards.
And because of Madness, I can only roll 2 die.
Not bad.
It's not bad. That could have been a lot worse.
Yeah.
Not great, but not bad. Still not great.
So you got 3 crystal and 1 energy.
First action is going to be to play my ability of scrapping a drone.
It costs what, 1 energy?
Costs 1 energy. Mm-hmm. I have to discard a card.
Okay.
And I can sacrifice a drone and turn it into a landmine.
But then you have that ability for every time you...
Since I've sacrificed a drone, I'll deal 1 damage to a space 2 or more spaces away.
So me?
You.
Gonna hit me for damage.
You get a damage.
As the first damage of the game, Cthulhu has 15 max health, but now he's down to 14.
And then I'm going to play...
And that's... which upgrade card is that lets you do the shot?
It's called Railgun.
Railgun. Makes sense.
And then I'm going to do... for 2 of my crystals, so I get 1 back. I'm going to play the effect of Missile, which is destroy 2 minions in the same space, 2 or more spaces away from Mechabot.
Oh,
2 of those go away.
Ouch.
I'm going to bank my last crystal. I should get 4 back next time. Maybe that'll change. And I get 2 cards.
Okay.
All right.
All done?
All done.
All right, so I'm going to get to roll 5 dice, which is where it's at.
Where it's at. It's where it's been. It's where it's at.
All right, so not bad. So I got 2, 3, 4 crystals.
Damn.
Which is nice. And then I also got 1, 2, 3, 4 energy, which is nice, and I got a reroll.
You got a reroll.
So the reroll is a very good die.
Is amazing.
It got me another energy and another crystal.
That's a great roll.
Yeah, it was. It worked very well. All right, so I got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 crystals total, and I have 5 energy to play with here. So here's what
That's a good roll.
do. Yeah, it wasn't bad. I'll take it. Well, I definitely have to do 2 effects because I gotta keep the extra die going because that's what's the only thing that's really doing it for me right now. So I'm gonna do a lot of effects. I've decided I'm gonna do
sure
a bunch.
you are.
I'm just gonna do a bunch. So first, for 1 crystal, because I have the discount of 1 from Transcendence, it normally costs 2. I'm gonna play the Depths, which is return an effect card from your discard pile to your hand. I'm gonna take Madness back.
Damn it.
Such a good card.
Well, let's put these over here.
For 2, I'm going to play Madness. And that is enough. I've already played enough effects. So now Alex is, again, going to only be able to use 2 dice on his next turn. So I'm slowing him down quite a bit. Then for 0, I'm going to play Zap and destroy one of his minions.
So you may notice for when you're playing against Cthulhu, you do not want to keep a lot of minions on the he can definitely destroy a lot. He's got an effect that even allows him to destroy all minions on the board. Then for 1, because of the discount, I'm going to play Summon, which allows me to make 2 zombies in Cthulhu's space. Followed by, I'm going to spend 4 energy to make 2 more zombies. It's 2 energy apiece. And I'm going to spend my final energy to move my horde of 4 zombies off of Cthulhu's space and start walking them towards Mechabot's side of the board. That's going to be it for me. I'm done. I get to draw 3 more cards, and I, of course, get to keep the blue die. So I get to roll my stupid 2 die. I hope I get a lot of crystals. Or not. 2 of those, 1 crystal and 2 energy. For 2 crystals, I'm going to play Scrapper, which is an upgrade to my drones. Costs 0 energy to sacrifice a drone.
Oh, wow. You get to do it for free now?
And when I do, I gain 1 crystal. So
Are you going to sack a drone?
sacrifice a drone.
Now, does that automatically... Are you going to shoot me or a zombie?
You are going to get hit.
Okay.
Cthulhu gets another damage. I get 1 crystal. I'm going to use my 2 energy to create a drone.
Okay.
I'm
Are you going to sack it again?
Sacrifice that drone.
Oh, no.
Damaging Cthulhu again. I gain 1 more crystal. I'm going to use my 2 crystals I have now left to play Minefield Effect, which means I get to play 3 landmine tokens in different spaces adjacent to Mechabot.
Oh, surrounding yourself with landmines.
So 3 different spaces adjacent to Mechabot. I draw my 2 cards I used, and I'm done.
Okay, well, that was a fairly eventful turn for only having 2 dice, I have to say. So I'm going to get my extra die again. Unfortunately, I don't think I have the ability to get back that card and use it a 3rd time, but I did get some rerolls.
Amazing rolls.
1, 2, 3, 4. I get 4 energy, which is nice, and I also get 2 crystals. That wasn't so good. The single crystals aren't the best side to get, but the 2 rerolls is fantastic. In which case, I got another reroll.
3 more energy.
With 3 more energy. Get 1 more.
Gotta put that landmine out there.
And it's another crystal and energy. Wow. That was a really good round of rolling for me. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is upset Alex significantly by playing Forbidden Tome, which is a upgrade card to Cthulhu that says whenever you play an effect card, you get to make a zombie in Cthulhu's space.
That one, yes.
Yes, that one. So I actually have an amazing set of abilities here that allow me to do all sorts of amazing things. So that's going to be really, really good. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to play Insanity for free because it normally costs 1, but I get the 1 crystal discount from Transcendence. And the ability is an opponent cannot move on their next turn. So Alex will not be able to do any movements. Now, though, it was an effect card, and thanks to Forbidden Tome, every time I play an effect card, I get a free zombie. So yay to the zombie. Then for a discount of 1, so it will only cost me 2 crystals to play. I'm going to play Drain. Drain says, deal 2 damage to an enemy boss and heal 2 damage from Cthulhu. So you go ahead and take 2 damage, and because it was an effect card, thanks to Forbidden Tome, I get another zombie. Oh! Yay, zombies. Okay, so that's going to be enough to get the extra die for me next round, which is really good. So now I'm going to start doing some other good stuff. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to spend 2 energy to make 1 more zombie. Then I'm going to spend 1 energy I'm going to spend 1 energy to take the 3 zombies on Cthulhu's space and have them go 1 space off and join the horde that is over there. I'm going to spend another energy to have them move another space towards Alex's side of the board over here. I'm going to spend 1 energy to have a single zombie go step on the landmine for me. Because if I moved the whole horde on there, and they were all there when it exploded, then they would not have been able to move any further. And I'm going to spend 2 more energy to walk through and attack the boss. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 zombies will all get obliterated by Mechabot, but they will also do 6 damage to Mechabot, which makes this the most damaging turn yet.
Absolutely.
That is going to be, you know what, I'm going to spend 1 more energy to move Cthulhu, get a little closer to you, and that's going to be it for me. I'm going to bank that 1 crystal. I'm going to draw my 3 cards up. So that's it. So that is how you play a game of battle bosses. So you build up your engine by placing out upgrade cards for either your boss or your minions. You build up forces of minions that you use to fight other minions or to move in and attack your enemy's battle boss. And you play cards that let you do all sorts of cool effects, from doing damage to getting to draw extra cards, etc. And just one thing that we didn't get a chance to show during the tutorial is that another way to damage your opponent's battle boss is to move into their space with your own battle boss, at which point at the end of your turn, your battle boss will do 1 damage to your opponent's battle boss. And if your battle boss remains there through his entire turn, they will do 1 damage at the end of their turn as well. So that's it. So now we're going to head back over. We're going to talk about how this game plays and feels, and we're going to rate it and review it. Okay, welcome back. So that was how you play a game of battle bosses.
Yeah.
So, so first thing is, this is obviously meant to be like a light dice chucker, a lighter version of like bigger strategy games. You've got the hex grid, like, a lot of the old school strategy games like BattleTech and Advanced Squad Leader and things like that, except of course this is a much lighter game.
Right.
So intro level for that.
The rules and the way it plays is very simple to learn. Like
very easy,
like 2 sides of 1 piece of paper. The rules, and then the mechanics are not difficult.
Not at all.
But then you add the card management and the different effects of the cards and how it's
and the resource management of the 2 different resources.
And the resource management, and then the asymmetrical gameplay. And it ends up building, all of those things, components end up building on themselves to make it actually a much more complex game than it.
And the card effects, too.
Right, the card effects, of course, yeah. It makes it a much more complex game than at first blush.
Yes.
And I think depending on how much you play into it or how comparable the opponents are, it can be a pretty strategic game.
But it can be very strategic, but it still feels very beer and pretzels to me, because there's a fair amount of randomness.
Right, absolutely, yeah.
So it feels like a beer and pretzels war strategy game, if you will.
Right.
Now, that said, we're going to get into it now. We're going to talk about some negatives and some positives. Do you have a negative you want to throw out?
Nothing glaring sticks out, actually. I think some of the asymmetries can be overwhelming at first. I think it takes a little bit to work into your character. Mm-hmm. So if you're you really need to look at the cards, the deck of cards for your boss,
and figure out
how this character plays.
Yes,
because the first time you run through with a character or a boss, it's if you don't know what kind of your cards are coming, you don't know how to play the guy, because they're very specific in where their strengths and weaknesses are.
They are.
But I don't think that's really an inherent weakness to the game. I think it's just something you got to keep in mind.
My only negative, and this is just kind of the nature of the beast with this sort of game, is there is a lot of randomness. Yes. So you've got the roll of the dice. Now, granted, there's no dud sides of the dice. All the dice give you resources, and then you have to adjust your strategy on the fly for what resources you're given. But there are random chances for someone to just have an amazing turn with a bunch of rerolls. Reroll and then, I got another reroll. Oh, I got another reroll. That can happen. There's also the randomness in what cards you're going to draw, though the deck is fairly small, so you're likely to get most of the cards from the deck eventually anyway. And there are effects to help mitigate it, because a lot of the battle bosses will have effects to like draw extra cards or search for cards.
Right. So I think there's it clearly is the randomness of the dice roll and the card that makes this not a typical strategy game.
Well, it does, though. I mean, and that's the thing is, so this is a very minor gripe for me. I don't really, I'm kind of grasping at straws to come up with a negative, because I do really like this game. The thing is, generally speaking, with any other big war strategy game, whether it be BattleTech or Warhammer or whatever it might be, there's always lots of dice rolls. So there's always lots of randomness. And with those games, when you're doing the dice rolls, you could totally just miss. Like, you could play BattleTech and you could roll, boxcars and be like, oh, crap, I just totally whiffed with my autocannon 20 and totally missed. Right. However, in this game, no matter what you roll, there's something you're going to be able to do.
Right.
All the dice sides are something.
Yeah, but I think the difference is that in a BattleTech type game, you have what you have at the beginning of the game, and the way you use it isn't really based on anything else other than your strategy.
Here, there's the cards.
Here, there's a lot of stuff that comes up that can completely change what you're doing, and your opponent. And there are there are some cards that are almost like instant kill if you play them early enough in the game.
They can be very deadly.
So it's. That's why this isn't like a...
It is very swingy.
Yeah, this isn't a heavy strategy game. It does go back and forth. There is a lot of room. You can play for a while as long as the dice aren't too crazy, or you can go back and forth over and over.
But then again, also, we forgot to talk about the player count. So it says 2 to 6 players, because you can make the big multiplayer game. Right. Ages 16 and up, which seems a little high to me.
Yeah, you don't have to be 16 to play this game. You can be 12 or 10 maybe even.
Also, it says 20 minutes per player, which means that in a 2-player game, they're saying around 40 minutes. I think it could definitely go higher than that. Yes. Because we have gone over an hour.
We've doubled that.
Yeah, but it can also go very fast. And these games can be really quick. It doesn't feel like it's as much of a time commitment as a lot of other war strategy games.
Yeah. Well, you open it up and you play. You don't have to. You don't have to create anything.
No. It's you have your boss. He makes the minions, and you just fight it out. Okay, so positives, because our negatives were minor.
Yeah, it's a well thought out game. So yeah.
Positives.
I like the asymmetry. That's a really interesting character. That's the neat thing about this.
Every boss is really neat.
Yeah. And it's
and it mainly comes down to their abilities and their cards in their deck.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's really cool how each it's self-contained. So you and a buddy just need to buy or have your favorite boss and meet up, and you have a game.
Yeah,
that's cool. You can just walk around with this and meet up with somebody else, and you have that game.
That's it.
That's a very neat idea.
And it doesn't even take up a lot of real estate too. You could play this even at a pub. Believe it or not, you could play this on a pub table.
Yeah, the whole game turns out to be maybe 2 foot by 2 foot when you're all set up.
Does not take up a lot of space.
Right.
Okay, so now it is a fairly light war strategy game, but I have to say, this game manages to capture the feel of a bigger war strategy game in a very light package. I get the same thrill from this as I do from playing a bigger war strategy game, and that's amazing to me, because very few light war strategy games do that. They usually don't. They're usually this is kind of like something I would play once in a while. I would play this all the freaking time. I really like this. I really enjoy it.
Okay. So one of the things I really like about this game is that it's the self-contained aspect of it. It reminds me of Sails of Glory, and not just because there's a boat in it, but then you have a small box with your game components in it. You have a few other things that you need to play the game. You don't really need a big board. You have a big area, but you don't need to carry so much stuff around with you. I like that about it. What's the word I'm looking for? The asymmetry among the different characters is really fun. I think it can be a little clunky, I think, occasionally, but other than that, I think it's a lot of fun.
I have one other gripe I forgot to mention before. Okay. So in the cards, they reuse the same pictures a lot for all the cards. It looks like they had a couple of pieces of artwork done for each character, and then they reused them for a lot of the cards. This, again, is a minor gripe. It was one I even forgot before while we were doing the gripes. I would have liked it a little better if they had gotten more art so that each of the cards had a different picture on it, but they didn't. Minor issue. I just want to throw that out there.
Okay.
Positives, though, yeah, it's a lot of fun. The pre-painted minis are really cool. I love the look of the giant battle bosses. They look great. My favorite is Captain Boat in his appearance.
They're very
My favorite in play style is Cthulhu.
Yeah, you like Cthulhu a lot. I mean, Mechabot's like a generic big mech.
He's big Mac, yeah.
But,
Well, you got a giant samurai dragon. So we got half of them. There are eight battle bosses in Series 1, and we've got 4 right here. I want to collect them all. So they gave me these for free. I'm going to buy the rest on my own. Because, yeah, I like having the variety. I like how each of these play very differently. Like you said, the asymmetrical abilities, the different uses. So each of the abilities of not just the boss, but also the minions are different. The minions are significantly
that's actually
different.
really cool. That's something they didn't have to do.
The minions are really different.
Yeah.
Like the upgrades for Ryu's Samurai are crazy. Like he can get Samurai having 2 hit points each, which is nuts.
Right.
Cthulhu's zombies are the most basic of minions, but then he has crazy upgrades for Cthulhu. Mechabot's got a lot of upgrades for his minions. The pirates can play a whole different game where they go searching for treasure.
Yep. And they can hide in the void in the middle of the game area, which is an interesting. Nothing else can do that.
Yeah, nothing else that we've seen so far. Obviously, we only have half of them, but yeah, no, this is a lot of. It's just a lot of fun. Like it's just a very enjoyable game. It's if you like chucking dice, and you know what? And this is the interesting thing. So we were talking about that. There's a fair amount of variability in regard to what you get on the dice scores plus what you get in the cards. But you know what? When you attack someone, you know exactly how much damage you're going to do. That part's completely mathematical.
Sure.
The minions, if minions fight minions, they just automatically wipe out an equal number until there's some left.
Self-annihilate.
Yeah. And then if a boss attacks a boss, he hits him for a damage. And if you have cards, they tell you how much damage they do. So that even though there's a fair amount of randomness in this, none of it is in the combat. The combat is all just what it is.
Right. The majority of the game is getting into combat.
Yeah.
It's setting up how you're going to do that.
Yeah, you got it because different. Some of them work better at range and some work better in melee.
Right.
So so that's it, I guess. Did you have anything else you wanted to talk about when it came to battle bosses?
No, I think we covered it.
All right. So do you want to rate it first or shall I?
I'll go ahead. I'm giving this a 7.5. This is a really fun game. It's really good. There's a few things I think are a little quirky about it that aren't whatever. They're not, like I said, they're not big deals, but they're just quirky enough to be, not make it an 8, I guess. So 7.5 is where I'm sitting. It's still a lot of fun to play.
I am going to go 8. I'm going to go half a star higher. 8 stars out of 10. I love this game. This game is tons of fun, and like I said, I'm already planning to buy the rest of the bosses. There are 8 bosses in Series 1. They're talking about doing a Series 2, and they have some preview images up of what those bosses are like, and I want to get them too. I mean, I can't wait to see how each of them work really differently from each other. I really want to try them all. They're all the bosses. We've tried all 4 of these bosses, and they are all unique, all different, and all fun.
Yeah,
they're all fun to play.
I thought it was going to be an overlay of different whatever on top of the same kind of gameplay, but they are all very different. It's pretty impressive. They did their homework.
And I really do. I love the synergies between cards where there's a lot of times where you'll have effects based around the main effects that you do, and every time you do it, it triggers extra abilities because you get the certain cards out.
Right.
You can be like, well, in the example game, I had a bunch of cards out with Cthulhu where every time he was playing
an effect.
He was playing effect cards. He was getting them for cheaper, but then he was also getting to get free zombies and stuff like that, which is really cool. So there you have it. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns on battle bosses or this video, feel free to put them in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed this review and tutorial and you'd like to see us do more like it, be sure to give it a like, share it on all forms of social media, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to the Board Game Captain. That's Captain spelled with a K on YouTube. And until next time, game on.